Hey agents, this is Hannibal, and if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the video. For those of you returning, welcome back to the channel. It's another glorious Monday, right? Today we're addressing one of the most persistent topics currently being discussed all over the place on X, YouTube, Twitch, even Reddit. It's been an ongoing discussion ever since Ubisoft Massive posted on their socials this image. And ever since said image is posted, the question persisting is, does this mean survival is coming back? And my short answer response? Well, no. It's probably not, and I have thoughts as to why, and I don't think it's coming to the Division 2. But let's unpack the long answer, because there's a lot more to it, and honestly, it says something about the direction of the entire franchise. So let's do it. Okay, first a bit of history. Now, some of this is pretty well known, and some of it may surprise some longtime players. Regardless, this is more for the new players who may not be in the know. Survival launched November 22nd, 2016 as a paid DLC for the Division 1. It dropped you, cold, sick, and nearly naked, in a storm-covered Manhattan. You had to scavenge for gear, manage infection, fight enemies, and eventually extract, all while fending off 23 other players doing the exact same thing. PvE or PvP, your call. There's weather mechanics, limited visibility, and other environmental conditions you had to deal with or navigate through. And some of the key features of the game mode: permadeath, cold and hunger mechanics, a randomized starting point, green gear, no SHD tech. And then there was the extraction climax at the end. What made survival different wasn't just the snow or the permadeath. It was the emotional loop of tension, isolation, and urgency. And it is arguably the most favorite game mode of the Division. Here's something not many people talk about. Survival wasn't 100% original. The design principles trace back to another little-known Ubisoft title, I Am Alive. You had limited stamina, resource prioritization, hostile urban environments. And I Am Alive released March 7th, 2012 on Xbox, April 3rd, 2012 on the PlayStation, and September 6th, 2012 on PC. And I absolutely loved this game. In I Am Alive, players scavenged in a ruined cityscape, balancing morality, resource scarcity, and environmental pressures. That DNA runs straight into the Division survival mode. It's almost a spiritual successor. When Division 2 launched in 2019, survival wasn't part of the base game, nor any Year 1 content. Well, why? Well, there's a few reasons. Engine changes. Snowdrop 2.0 used in the Division 2 was better for open world, not timed, instant zones. There was also a design shift. The Division 2 moved from survivalism to structured progression. Seasons, SHD levels, proficiency, all permanent systems. Massive's intentions was that they were very clear since launch they didn't want to copy and paste the same DLC. It's the classic Ubisoft pivot. Innovate, not iterate. For better or worse. Now, some of you might say, well, what about the Division Heartland? Was it that survival focused? Well, yes and no. Initially pitched in 2021 as a Division 2 style free-to-play survival shooter, it included looting, crafting, PvE, PvP, and timed weather systems, environmental shift changes. And Heartland had many closed tests. I participated in 2 of them. But Ubisoft officially canceled the entire project in May 2024. Heartland was the evolution of survival, but it died before it had any chance to breathe. And its cancellation sealed survival's fate in the Division franchise, for now. Survival isn't recurring content. This is one of the reasons why the Division 2 doesn't want it. The Division 2 was built on repeatability. Control points, countdown, summit, weekly invaded missions, seasons, manhunts, scout missions. Now, most people new to the franchise would be more inclined to play it, beat it, and probably move on. It doesn't fit the Division 2's grind model, at least from Ubisoft's point of view. Yes, I'm aware there are several of you out there, veterans of the first Survival, that would absolutely live in this game mode, but frankly, you are a minority of player population compared to the rest. Don't forget about no FOMO, no profit. Ubisoft is focused on seasonal content and monetization. Survival, as it has been modeled, can't support battle passes or monetization cosmetics in a satisfying way from Ubisoft's current business model. You also have community fragmentation. Adding a standalone mode splits queues. Look at conflict in the Dark Zone matchmaking. Man, it is barely holding on as it is. A survival playlist would spread the player base way too thin. You also have to take in consideration the high developmental cost. New UI, weather mechanics, gear rules, it's not a copy-paste from the Division 1. Rebuilding Survival for the Division 2 is a major lift, not worth the ROI for Ubisoft. Now, hardcore mode does not equal survival. Some folks say hardcore mode is the new survival, and it's not. It really isn't. Hardcore lets you play the full Division 2 campaign with permadeath, but it lacks the tension, environmental struggle, and urgency Survival was known for. Sure, that's arguable, but you need to remember, Survival is a quick mode, not a campaign length mode. So it's not the same. Similar, but not the same. And it's challenging, sure, but it's not what Survival fans were asking for. So what is coming instead? Well, Ubisoft Massive gave a hint. Something new. New. Let me repeat that again. New. Bringing Survival to the Division 2 is not new. So whatever they're cooking up, I have serious doubts it'll be Survival. Ubisoft did confirm that the Division 3 is in development, while Division 2 is supported with new seasonal content, weapons, and events. We're getting DLC expansions like Battle for Brooklyn, reworked conflict updates, and new Descent tweaks, not a return to 2016. If we ever see Survival again, it'll likely be reimagined for Division 3 or used as inspiration for a new mode. Division 3 sounds more plausible than the Division 2, simply because of the way the Division 2 was built and structured. So here's my final answer. Survival is probably not coming to the Division 2, not because they don't care, but because the game, the engine, the franchise direction have moved on, and the game mode simply isn't compatible with the game's infrastructure and Ubisoft's ROI. But if you do miss it, reinstall the Division 1. Queue up Survival. Feel the chill, dodge the Rikers, and relive that adrenaline rush. And who knows, maybe the Division 3 will bring it back with a vengeance. I want to hear about your favorite Survival memory in the comments if you played it. I want to keep the conversation going. And if you're new, which is my favorite section of the audience, I strongly encourage you to pick up the Division, especially when it's on sale, and play the game mode. I would also recommend I Am Alive. It's still available on the Ubisoft store, usually under $10. I actually believe it's part of the new 80% sale they're having right now. It is single player, but I found it fun, and I personally believe it does not get the love it deserves. A little bit of useless info. When I interviewed for Ubisoft before being hired, one of the random questions they asked me in the panel was, what was my top 3 favorite Ubisoft titles? I mentioned The Division, the Assassin's Creed trilogy, the first trilogy, and lastly I mentioned I Am Alive. When I mentioned I Am Alive, the panel all had confused look on their faces, and one of them even admitted they had never heard of the title. Now, that surprised me. It's so unknown to most gamers that even the support team never heard of it. So please, if you're interested, give it a spin. It's not a large game. I'm sure you could finish it on a simple, lazy Saturday afternoon. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video and breakdown. If so, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Discord and X links are in the description. My silly ass made a huge mistake in my last video about the new Xbox sister clan. It's not epic bad dogs, it's elite bad dogs. Apologies for the screw up. And try to take it easy out there. If you're experiencing the heat domes out in the US, drink water, stay inside. Hell, watch more of my videos. And until the next one, this is Hannibal, signing off.